Good morning, students. In previous video we discussed about Sale of Goods Act 1930, and in that topic we discussed about what is called sales and what are the essentials of sales and difference between sale and agreement to sell. So just we'll have a glance on the synopsis of meaning of sale. As we are learning about business law, in business sale plays a very important role. Sale means or business means exchange of goods and services in a particular place at a particular time with price. So, exchange of goods and services in a particular place in a particular time with a price is called as sales. And if we have observed about the essentials of sales, so definitely while entering into contract to do a sale activity, we need two parties. One is seller and other one is buyer. Definitely there must be a legal relationship and with some consideration, and definitely remember in the activity of sale we have discussed that transformation of goods from seller to buyer must be the quantity and quality of good. So, the word good plays a very important role in Sale of Goods Act. So, in general meaning, good means we feel that what the commodities that we purchase in our general life. Good means the commodities that what we purchase in our day-to-day life. But when we are dealing with the subject of business law, law has given different meaning for the word good. And let us check the meaning of good in Sale of Goods Act 1930. As per Sale of Goods Act 1930 under section 2 subsection 7, goods are defined as any movable property. Any movable property which can be moved from one person to another person or from one place to another place, and which can be transferred from one different parties is called as good. And I am using one more word here, except. So certain things we should not consider as goods. So you can understand very clearly that good means a movable property from a seller to buyer is called as good, except money and actionable claims. Money and actionable claims. Why not these things? Money, generally we feel that it is a good. Sorry, it's not a good. Money is medium of exchange. It acts as a mediator from one person to another person, that's it. Money never be considered as good. Money is only a medium of exchange to acquire or sell commodities. Now another wording is there, that is actionable claims. Actionable claims are also denoted with another word that's called as negotiable instruments. So negotiable instruments, as you people know that they are, you have already seen that first one is check. Check is a negotiable instrument. So it will be given to a particular person and it's never be called as a good. Second one is demand draft. So when we take this demand draft, this is given for a particular person, it's not considered as a commodity or good. Next one, promissory note. So this promissory note, definitely it is not considered as a good. And last and final one here is bills of exchange. So all these four documents are called as actionable claims, which are denoted with negotiable instruments. Money, check, demand draft, promissory note and bills of exchange are not considered as goods. Other than these things, we will consider shares, stock, growing crops, electricity, water, gas, all these things are called as goods. Please catch it. So I have stated that any movable property other than money and actionable claims, along with shares, stock, growing crops, gas, water, electricity are called as goods. Okay. So this is stated in section 2, subsection 7 of Sale of Goods Act 1930 about goods. Now just check once, along with all these things except money and actionable claims, certain other things are also there. We consider them as goods. They are, we call them as intangible assets. They are, first one is goodwill, next one is patent rights, another one trademarks and copyrights. These four are also considered as goods in our Sale of Goods Act. First one is goodwill. Goodwill is nothing but name and fame. A company's name or a firm's name or an industry name. So it states about how much fame that we have in our market, that we have in our industry, that we have in the society. We consider goodwill as a good. Another one is patent rights. Patented rights are also called as parental rights. They are given for innovations. They will be given for inventions. So for that, if you observe Albert Einstein, you know a very good scientist who invented E equal to mc square. Definitely that person is called as parent for his own skills. So that parent right is considered as good. Next one, trademark. Trademark is a logo for any product or company or firm. So when we consider trademark, yes, the trademark is a good for the so-called company or firm. Okay, it creates a market for them in this identity in the market. Next one, copyrights. Copyrights are given for the skills and efficiency of others. Because a skill is given a value and it is considered as a good. Now check it in the definition of good under Sale of Goods Act 1930 under section 2 subsection 7. Good means any good which is moved or anything which is a movable one except, please catch this, except money and actionable claims, along with, means money and actionable claims are not considered as goods, and other properties are, definitely we have shares, stock, growing crops, water, electricity, gas, your mobile services, transport, banking services, and goodwill, patent rights, trademarks and copyrights are considered as goods. Okay. Now this is a definition and meaning of the good as per Sale of Goods Act under section 2 subsection 7. Now we move to what kind of goods are considered under Sale of Goods Act as goods, because I have stated certain exceptions also. So the goods which are existed, the goods which are there while making a contract are considered as goods. So we have to analyze, we have to say that which kind of good is considered as good under Sale of Goods Act and which kind of goods are not considered. I have stated very clearly that certain kind of things are there which should not consider as goods. They are checks, demand drafts, promissory notes and bills of exchange. These are not goods. So let us check once what are the different kinds of goods are there that are included in our contract, so that the seller and buyer can make a contract to make a law. Okay, just to check on the different kinds of goods under Sale of Goods Act, which are important for us to know. So, kinds of goods. You feel that good is a good. What the need for us to differentiate? A good is a good. No, all goods are not considered under contract. Definitely we have to analyze different kinds of goods. So, kinds of goods are classified under Sale of Goods Act as under 3 categories. And the 3 categories of goods are, first kind of good is existing goods. Existing goods. Second kind of goods are ascertained goods. And third kind of goods are unascertained goods. So, how many goods we have? As per Sale of Goods Act, goods are classified into 3 categories: existing goods, ascertained goods and unascertained goods. So, let's check what are these 3 kinds of goods which plays a very vital role in our Sale of Goods Act 1930, because you are commerce students, and being the commerce students, when you are studying about business law, definitely you have to know about the contents in the business law. So, let's go deep into the topic, that is about existing goods. Existing, the word itself is indicating that yes, it should be. Existing goods are those goods which are retained and which are there at the time of framing the contract or at the time of making the contract. So, when we are discussing about Sale of Goods Act, this act is for seller and buyer. So, at the time of making the contract between seller and buyer, the seller should own the goods, or goods should be in the hands of seller at the time of selling the goods to buyer. They are called as existing goods. Existing good means a good should be retained at the time of framing the contract. Definitely the seller should be owner of the goods, or else the seller should have possession of goods in his hand while making a contract. Okay. So, in this existing goods, the goods which should be there while framing the contract, they are classified into 3 categories. Existing goods are classified into 3 categories. They are, first kind of good is specific goods. The 3 kinds of goods, the first one is existing goods. Existing goods are those goods which are available at the time of framing a contract. So, when we are talking about existing goods, these existing goods are classified into 3 categories. And let me explain first about the existing goods. Existing goods are those goods which are owned, or its position will be in the hands of seller. So, seller should be the owner of the goods while framing the contract, and once a contract is made between seller and buyer, immediately the ownership should transfer from seller to buyer to complete the contract. So, existing goods are must be in the hands of seller. So, let us check about the kinds of existing goods in our topic. First one is specific goods. So, specific goods, the word itself is indicating special, exact, accurate. So, specific goods are those goods which are mentioned by the seller to sell them to buyer. So, seller has to mention in their contract that what kind of good they are going to sell it to buyer. So, they have to mention their ownership and they have to mention very clearly that about the commodity by describing it and to show it to buyer. So, let me give an example for this. So, if you go to a car showroom, the seller will show you a car and the seller will describe about the car and they may ask you for a test drive, and if you like that car they will sell it to you. So, buyer has to check it and has to accept it. In this kind of in this example you can see very clearly that car is a specific good and the showroom person is the owner. He will transfer immediately once buyer pays price for the car. So, a good which is mentioned clearly and the seller possesses its ownership, then such kind of goods are called as existing goods. Okay. Now, move the second kind of existing goods with the specific goods. So, car I have stated it is an existing good. Similarly, it is a specific good because seller mentioned this is the kind of car, this is the model of the car and buyer accepted it, purchased it, ownership transfer. Specifically they mentioned about the goods. Such kind of goods are specific goods. Now, more the second kind of goods are obviously it states about certain goods. So, when you are talking about certain goods, yes, these certain goods are stated by the seller. They have mentioned by the seller, but at the time of making the contract, the goods may not be with the seller, but they are going to play a role to perform the contract. Possession at the time of making contract may not be in the hands of seller. They are going to be in next step. So, here in this certainty will be there. Seller will say that I am going to sell you such kind of goods and buyer will accept it and it is going to perform once seller receives the commodity and transform it to the buyer. They are called as certain goods. Next kind of goods are uncertain goods. Uncertain goods, there is no specific mention about these kind of goods. Uncertain goods means seller cannot describe clearly that what kind of good that he is going to sell to buyer. Clearly they are not going to mention. Let me give you an example to you. Suppose if you go to a rice stores and the rice seller will say that you take that packet of rice and it will be very good. Is it certain? Do you know that in the packet of rice packet or whatever rice is there, is it quality rice? We don't know. Certainty is not there. So, in such kind of situation, the goods are uncertain goods. Certainty won't be there. Seller will just describe about it and they will say that out of so many, one commodity may be yours. We want to sell it. Out of number of goods, the seller would like to give one good to buyer. So, here what is lacking? Specificness of commodity or good is missing, but the goods are going to exist when they are going to frame contract, and the contracts must be between seller and buyer, but it should not be between any third party. Try to catch it. The contract when they are making, it should be between seller and buyer. And when seller and buyer are making contract, definitely if you observe, specific goods plays a vital role, because seller described about the commodity and seller says about the commodity that this is the one which I have owned and I would like to sell it to you. And if a buyer accepted for all those things, yes, commodity mentioned clearly, buyer ready to buy it, yes, it will become specific goods. Move to certain goods. Certain. Of course, you are not going to perform the task right now, but it's going to be performed at one moment. Certainty is there. Certainty is there. Out of so many, one. Mention clearly, yes, this will be. You are going to. So, let me tell you here, specific goods and certain goods are similar in one stage of aspect in a contract of sale. Third kind of one, uncertain goods. These uncertain goods among so many, without the choice of the buyer, seller will give it to buyer out of so many. So, it is not certain, it is not accurate, it is just one where the buyer has to accept what is stated by seller and has to obey. Why the reason behind it is, seller has a right to put conditions because he is the offerer, and buyer has to accept it because there is no choice for the buyer to put conditions. Okay, this is about existing goods in Sale of Goods Act. This is one kind of good. Now, more the second kind of good, future goods. Present goods, future goods, past goods. What these kind of goods? Yes, future goods are those goods which plays a vital role when the contract is making between, when the seller and buyer are making the contract. They will make contract now, but they are going to perform the contract in future days. So, certain goods are there, those goods are called as future goods. Let me give you an example about future goods. We will take, this is the month of, this is September month, and we are going to acquire mangoes in the month of April and May. So, seller, let me give, seller wants to sell his mangoes, seller is a farmer and buyer want to buy mangoes. They make a contract now itself only about lease of mangoes. The buyer will buy mangoes, they will make a contract, and the buyer will acquire the mangoes only in the month of April and May, but not in between, because we cannot. So, let me tell you clearly about these mangoes, because I have stated in the definition of goods, any movable property, and even that movable property also, crops, stock, shares, gas, electricity, water, telecom services, transport, banking, what not. All these are considered as goods. So, growing crops is also one of the good in our Sale of Goods Act. Okay, so whatever crop that I have stated, whatever product that I have stated, that is about mango. Mango we are not going to get now, we are going to get it in the month of April and May. But the farmer made a contract with the buyer that you are going to get mangoes in the month of April. When you are making the contract, you are making the contract now itself only. The seller is not having any sort of possession of goods now itself only, but he sold the goods when for future days. That is about future goods. Okay, and for this you can take a number of examples for this. About our crops we have taken, shares we have taken. Today if you purchase the shares, are you enjoy those shares value today itself only? No. When the price of shares increases in future, you will enjoy at that time. So, share is also good, I mentioned clearly to you. Similarly, stock. If you buy a house now, if you purchase a house from contractor or builder, today if you purchase with 10 lakhs, in future it will become 20 lakhs. So, the value will be changes, that is called as price. Similarly, you are going to get the product or good in future days, not today itself only. So, seller will transfer the possession of goods in future by making a contract today, that is called as future goods. Come to the point of contingent goods. Contingent goods are not a clear goods. There is no certainty, and contingent goods are not, they may exist, they may not exist, generic goods they are. In this case, let me give an example to you. When our country purchased goods from foreign country, the goods have to come either by flight or by shipping. So if they started moving from them, anything may happen, uncertain. It's not accurate. But we made contract. The two countries made contract and the goods are in transit. And because of weather condition or because of uncertainty, if something goes wrong, the buyer could not receive goods. Such kinds of goods are called as contingent goods. There is no certainty for such kind of goods. Okay, so for this I have given an example of transportation of goods. Similarly, you can take example of other goods also where we purchase perishable goods. Perishable goods are contingent goods. Suppose if you purchase a milk packet, actually everyone will purchase milk packet in the morning, and if anyone purchases milk packet in the evening, do you know its condition? No, obviously not. It may be spoiled. So in such case, the ownership is transferred, immediately catch it, but the product is not accurate one. So contingent goods are uncertain goods, and the seller will make a contract, but it is not the possibility is very less, it may reach the buyer or not. Promise made by seller will be, it may perform or it may not be performable. So any goods which are under transit are considered as contingent goods. Any commodity which are they reach ultimate consumer is considered as contingent goods. Okay students, this is about kinds of goods. Let me explain one more time about these contingent goods and future goods and existing goods. About goods also one more time. The definition of goods says that any movable property other than money or negotiable instruments or insurable claims, other than these two, actionable claims, other than these two, we can consider goods as patents, trademarks, copyrights, goodwill and all, shares, stock, growing crops, gas, water, electricity, transportation, all are considered as goods in our Sale of Goods Act 1930. And this Sale of Goods Act indicates very clearly that what should be called as a good. And to state about the good, it has given a section also, section 2 subsection 7, that a commodity should be called as, or a product should be called as a good which have a tendency of movability, moving from one place to another place. When a commodity moves from one place to another place, it is called as good. So that's why, based on the nature of that statement, the goods are classified into three categories. They are, number one, existing goods. Please catch it very clearly. While making the contract, while entering into any agreement between seller and buyer, seller should possess ownership of that good in his hand, and if they transferred by paying certain price by the buyer, such kind of goods are called as existing goods. These existing goods plays a very important role in our Sale of Goods Act 1930. Now, just to check once about these three kinds of existing goods. Specific good means there should be clarity by the seller what commodity that he is going to sell to buyer. Commodity should be mentioned, good must be stated clearly. It may be a car, it may be a pencil, it may be a food item, or it may be a house. It should be stated clearly. Now the next one, certain goods. Certain goods are also similar to specific goods. And let me tell about one thing about specific goods. Specific goods are those kind of goods which are made at the time of contract. which are considered, not made, which are considered at the time of framing a contract. Seller has to show it, yes, this is the commodity that I am going to sell you, and if you pay me, I will transfer the ownership to you. And in specific goods, buyer has a right to know about it. Now, next one is certain goods. It is somewhat similar to specific goods, but goods can be delivered after framing contract also. You can make a contract, seller and buyer can make a contract, but transfer of ownership will be there only after the contract, not present. So, you can call certain goods as future contract goods. Next one is uncertain goods. Seller and buyer will frame contract, they will make a contract, but buyer don't know about what kind of commodity that they are going to get. There is no specific mention and there is no certainty to the buyer that what commodity that he is going to acquire from seller. Okay ma? Now the next one, future goods. Future goods are those goods which they play their role in future days, but contract will be done by seller and buyer present only. The commodity will reach, the good will reach to buyer in future days. Last and final one, contingent goods. There is no specific time or there is no specific situation for such kind of goods. Buyer don't know when they are going to get, and seller is also unable to mention clearly that when the goods are going to deliver to buyer. So, example for this are online shopping. You ordered something in Amazon, and when you ordered it, you know about the commodity. Yes, as a buyer you know, but they say that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and in this lockdown duration, it may drag more number of days. So, in that situation, it will become contingent goods which cannot be mentioned very clearly. Okay students, this is about, in today's class is stated that you have to mention very clearly about goods and learn about meaning of, definition of goods and kinds of goods. Okay students, I will meet in the next video with another topic. Thank you.